spot? Yep. All right, guys, we're going to get started here shortly on the show. It's good to be back, man. Great to be back. Very much missed connecting with you guys. Yesterday was the first show in 8 days of being off, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot to cover on the show. If you like talking Charlottesville and Albemarle County, Central Virginia, this is the show for you. We got a new business for sale, a business that I think is a fantastic opportunity. Yours truly has the listing. We'll let you know the business that's for sale and the opportunity ahead today on the I Love Seville show. The University of Virginia has purchased yet another piece of property on Ivy Road. I think Ivy Road is becoming the Academic Village 2.0. We're going to talk about that purchase the University of Virginia Foundation has done on Ivy Road today on the I Love Seville show. Jerome Powell did a press conference yesterday. We'll talk about that today on the show. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, his press conference ignited a rally of significant proportions yesterday as he indicated rate hikes would be potentially small and marginal moving forward. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some inflation data that came out today on the program. A lot to cover on the show. Give it a like, give it a share anywhere you are watching. Give it a like, give it a share anywhere you are watching. We'll highlight Sean Tubbs on today's program. Someone tag Sean Tubbs and let him know I'm going to give him some props today. We'll talk about the Virginia women's basketball team on the program. Virginia Women's Hoops is en fuego. Judah, can you say it with me now? En fuego. Say it with me now. Say it loud and proud, Judah.
En fuego.
Oh, that was very good. Very good. Anytime I can get Judah utilizing those God-given vocal cords, I get very excited on this program because Judah's got the voice of a songbird. The voice of a songbird. I'm going to tag Sean Tubbs here. Sean Tubbs. We are going to give you some serious props on today's show. Good call there, J-Dubs. Join us on Twitter on the discussion. Join us on LinkedIn, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. 15 Facebook pages, show streams across all social platforms. We're going to have a lot of fun today. J-Dubs, I need about 10 seconds and I can rock and roll. How you feeling, Judah? Just give us a snapshot into what goes into getting the I Love Seville show ready before airtime. Quite a bit. Give us a little sneak peek, a behind-the-scenes sneak peek. Talk to your many fans.
Oh man, let's see. There's getting the promo post up so that people can see it in time to watch the show. There's switching over pretty much everything from the previous morning's show, from names and titles to the PTIs that list all the interesting topics that we're going to be speaking about. Got to switch out all the little the sponsor strips that show off the wonderful sponsors of our shows.
I prefer partners.
Partners is good too.
Yeah.
And then making sure the cameras are set up and looking good, which I'm doing right now since everybody's a different height, a different build, so sometimes you got to raise the camera, sometimes you got to lower it, get it in position so everybody is
We'll say a lot
good.
goes into the program. How about that?
No doubt.
Look at the headlines, guys. Look at what we're going to talk about. New business for sale. UVA buys a monumental piece of property on Ivy Road. Ivy Road turning into the Academic Village 2.0. A lot to rock and roll. J-Dubs, let's giddy up.
Let's see. Quiet on the set.
Good Thursday afternoon, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love Seville show. Thank you kindly for joining us. It's great to be with you in a glorious day in downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, live across every social media platform known to mankind with a lot to cover on today's show. We'll talk Jerome Powell's press conference from yesterday. The chairman of the Federal Reserve finally had some commentary that markets took as dovish. For those that are not in the game, dovish means he's likely going to do rate hikes to tamper inflation that are not as steep as he's been doing this year. Because those rate hikes will not be as significant or as steep or as large, the markets responded favorably. What does that mean to you? We will explain today on the program. We're going to talk real estate today on the show. The UVA Foundation has purchased yet another property on Ivy Road. On this network, I have called the Ivy Road corridor the Academic Village 2.0. Academic Village 1.0, the lawn, the range, and the heart of the University of Virginia. But it's no question that the foundation, UVA, and the brass that runs Thomas Jefferson's University is heading westward toward the Boar's Head Resort. I have questions about that. Here are the questions I have for you. How will this impact the Lewis Mountain neighborhood? How will this impact tax rolls? When the foundation owns a piece of property, it takes the property off the tax rolls of a jurisdiction, meaning there's less revenue coming from those properties heading to the jurisdiction. We'll talk about all these cause and effects of the foundation, the biggest landlord, the most influential landlord in Charlottesville and Albemarle County without question. Today's program will feature another business in Charlottesville and Central Virginia that's for sale. This business is absolutely dynamite. The husband and wife behind this business just have done a hell of a job running a company and a small business. The asking price is $325,000, $325,000. We'll talk and let you know which business is for sale today on the show and why we think this is a good opportunity for a potential buyer. The business, I'll give you a sneak peek, is Catch the Chef. They have a food truck and a food trailer that's just delicious and dynamic. We'll talk on today's program Albemarle County and Charlottesville and how we make it better. We talked about that yesterday, Judah Wickower and I was impressed with the response, Judah, from the viewers and listeners. They very much enjoyed the commentary of how to make Albemarle County and Charlottesville City better. So we'll have that conversation again with some fresh topics. And we encourage you, the viewer and listener, to join us in the discussion by sharing your ideas in the feed. Put in the comment section how we can make Charlottesville City and Albemarle County better right now. Ideas and suggestions are encouraged. Participation, we ask for it on a regular basis on today's show. I also want to highlight the Virginia women's basketball team. We don't talk women's sports at the University of Virginia enough, and that's a travesty. There's one team, this Virginia women's basketball team, that is absolutely amazing. In fact, Virginia women's basketball currently is undefeated at 9-0 overall and 1-0 in ACC play. This basketball team, guys, has done a complete 180 from last year. And they have undoubtedly given you reason to go to the John Paul Jones Arena and support this program. We'll give you some reasons why, and we'll ask this question. Does the University of Virginia have the best men's and women's basketball teams in the entire country? I'm going to ask you that question, and I want your answers in the feed on that topic, guys. Judah Wickower is our director. Judah, let's go to the two-shot so you can wave and salute and give props to your many and adoring fans. There's Judah Wickower right there, the charismatic, the personable, the approachable, the conversationalist, Judah Wickower himself. My friend, good Thursday afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First, I like the zip-down sweater that you're wearing right now.
Thank
you look
you.
very sharp.
It's an Ann Wickower exclusive.
Oh, it's an Ann Wickower exclusive. That's the designer.
Yeah, she asked a few years ago before Christmas if I'd like a sweater. I said sure. She asked me what kind. I said, well, I'd like to have a zip up. So
Is it a quarter zip or a full zip?
It's a full zip.
Can you stand and model the Ann Wickower exclusive for your many adoring fans?
I don't know if they'll be able to see everything, but
I mean, just you see where the camera is. The Ann Wickower exclusive. That's Judah's mom, for those that don't know. Whoa, Judah with the slow unzip. And he's got the flannel underneath. How about a full 360 right there, Judah? Come on, how about a full 360?
I'm going to have to step back and...
Oh, look at that. Judah, look at the belt. Judah Wickower with the Ann Wickower exclusive. We need to get that on the racks of Macy's and Nordstrom's immediately.
Right? So
Ann's got talent.
I said I want a mock turtleneck collar. I want
A mock turtleneck.
Well, I don't want the full turtleneck, especially not with the zip up. And I said, and you know what? Why not put a racing stripe down one side of it?
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
So
I would like an Ann Wickower exclusive.
I'm guessing that she took probably a few different designs and somehow put them together. I don't know. My mom is amazing.
A truly fantastic designer. Kevin Higgins calls you a jack of all zips today. A jack of all zips for Kevin Higgins.
Not sure how I feel about that.
I think that's fantastic. A jack
it.
of all zips is a compliment. It's a compliment right there. Moms and dads watching the program. Our baby boy is now, let me get this straight here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, is now just under 4 days old. And Judah, you will find, perhaps, if you choose to pursue being a father, our boy, and I think many moms and dads that are watching this program, he sleeps all day. In fact, he sleeps from 6:30 a.m. until midnight.
Can I guess when he doesn't sleep?
He does not sleep a lick from midnight until 6:30 in the morning. Tell me how this not even 4-day-old, 7-pound, 12.5-ounce little ball of joy and love can sleep from 6:30 a.m.
He's a night owl.
To 11:59 p.m., but from when the clock strikes midnight until 6:30 in the morning, this little ball of love does not choose to sleep at all. And not only, Judah, does he choose not to sleep at all, but from 12 a.m. at midnight to 6:29 a.m. in the morning, he chooses to poop the most. He chooses to spit up the most, and he chooses to be the hungriest possible little boy possible.
Probably because he's awake. Now, something came to me, and
what is that?
You and our audience can tell me if I'm a genius or an idiot.
Oh,
what if? So, I'm guessing because you've got family helping.
Yes.
That all day long, the time when your son is asleep, he has a what would you call it? A gentle babble of familiar human voices. And then everybody goes to sleep, and he no longer has that. So what if you tried recording your family in that kind of general, just babble, and play it for him at night? And see if that helps. It could be just a calming kind of white noise to a new baby.
So we need the bubbling brook of family conversation.
Yeah.
Which we could easily record on our iPhone. And we need to play that bubbling brook. I need a word that starts with B, that's synonymous with conversation or chitter chatter. Viewers and listeners, can you help me out with a word that starts with B that's synonymous with chatter?
Back and forth.
That doesn't start with B. Well, I guess it does. Back does. Do you got one, Judah? Babble. I guess babble is chatter, right?
Yeah, babble
You
is
did
chatter.
say babble, right?
Yeah.
We need a bubbling brook of babble recorded and then played from midnight until 6:30 in the morning to help our son perhaps feel comfortable so he's not wakened, needing more food than ever before, pooping his diaper more than ever before, and everything else that comes with being nearly 4 days old. That's actually pretty good advice. I'll give you some props on that. I'll relay that to my wife. I'll tell you what. I don't sleep much. Viewers and listeners know 3 to 4 hours a night tops. So I'm on the night shift. I'm on the night shift. But one thing that's extremely difficult for the night shift.
Breastfeeding?
Yeah. I mean, what was it? What was the movie with
Man, I don't know.
Ben Stiller? You know the movie I'm talking about? Robert De Niro was in there.
Oh, the Meet the
Fockers? Yeah. I have a problem here. Now I can bottle feed, which I'm happy to do. But as we found out on Meet the Fockers, I can't. You see the difficulty.
They probably make something for that.
They make breasts for men?
Why not? They make just about everything else. Be kind of like one of those beer hats, except it's, a milk breast for men.
Spoken eloquently from a man wearing a mock turtleneck with a full zipper and a racing stripe on the side. I think you're onto something here.
Yeah.
We should trademark it. Trademark it. All right, let's get to the topics du jour here. The Thursday edition of the I Love CVille show. First, a macro topic for you guys. Fed Chair Jerome Powell in yesterday's news conference says smaller interest rate hikes could start in December. Good news, man. One of the reasons he's doing this is because perhaps inflation is getting in check. What does that mean to West Main Street? What does that mean to Route 29? What does that mean to Keswick, to Pantops, to Earlysville? What does that mean to Scottsville? What does that mean to Avon Extended? What does that mean to the University of Virginia? Well, if inflation's in check, that means potentially we have more money in our pockets. Okay? He says smaller rate hikes could start as early as this month. It's December 1. He's got another press conference scheduled for the 13th and 14th of this month, where we'll know even more. We got other relatively positive news. A key inflation measure that the Fed follows rose 0.2% in October, less than expected. That key inflation measure is the core personal consumption expenditures price index. Basically, it's a gauge that excludes food and energy, and it's favored by the Federal Reserve. It rose 0.2%. The expectation was 0.3%. Maybe we get some positive data here. Maybe we get a Santa Claus rally here. Maybe, and I'll cut to the chase from a local standpoint, maybe the cost of goods like groceries, like gas, stuff that we have to buy just to stay alive in Charlottesville, maybe those costs are starting to plateau. Positivity in what has been a tumultuous, volatile, and uncertain year for markets and for family household budgets.
No doubt.
Positivity. We had a significant rally on Wall Street yesterday. The markets flat essentially today. Guys, we need to highlight the positivity with the same vigor as the national media does the negativity. This is good news. How long it lasts, time will tell. But yesterday, Powell was dovish in his language. Maybe we're seeing inflation potentially under control. That's good news for those of us that eat out, that do grocery shopping, put gas in our vehicles.
People who spend money basically.
Need water to drink, milk to drink, bread to eat, like ice cream for dinner, like to go to concerts, like to wear clothes, like to get their haircuts.
Like to live in a home.
Like to live in houses. Like to have their lights on in their homes. Have their homes hot during the winter. And have their credit card balances not spiking out of control because their floating debt is associated with prime. Let's celebrate a little bit of good news here. Do you agree, my friend?
I am not going to rain on this parade.
Thank you. I was very concerned you would. The contrarian of the two of us, I thought you would. But you're not going to today. I like that about you.
I'm not going to rain on this parade.
I love this version of Judah B. Wickhauer, the jack of all zips today on the Thursday edition of the I Love CVille show. All right, let's go to a business that's for sale. You got your introduction to this business. I want your take of what you saw with this business. Tyler Berry and his beautiful wife are the owners of Catch the Chef. And I have firsthand watched as Tyler Berry has taken this business to new levels and greater heights.
Yeah, I miss seeing him on the downtown mall.
Exactly. I first met Tyler Berry when he had a food cart on the downtown mall. And Tyler Berry, rain or shine, hot or cold, when he was working on the downtown mall, out of his food cart was slinging delicious food to customers who wanted an affordable price point in downtown Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Tyler Berry's food cart was next to the Bank of America building that Hunter Craig owns,
Yep.
the old Prime 109 Steakhouse. And I watched as Tyler took this brand, Catch the Chef, and grew it, taking it to new heights. Today, Tyler Berry and his brand, Catch the Chef, Judah, not only have a food trailer, but they also have a food truck.
Yep.
With his beautiful wife, Tanya, a team of 2 people running this business. The Berries have taken Catch the Chef to a 2021 total income, we're talking gross income here, of $573,925. The 2021 net income on this business, $177,079. The man owns a food trailer that is essentially brand new. 2020 Next Hall food trailer that's 28 feet long. He also has a food truck with this business. 2 points of sale. He goes from a food cart to a food trailer and a food truck. The trailer is 28 feet long. The truck is 20 feet long with a 12-foot long kitchen. These 2 points of sale in 2021, last year, $573,925 in gross revenues. The net on that, $177,079. Tyler and Tanya are selling the business. Yours truly, me, has the business listing with our business brokerage division. I'm going to ask you what you saw when you went and you got to know this business here in a matter of moments. Folks, this is a tremendous opportunity. You're buying a business that has tangible assets here. And the tangible assets are a trailer and truck along with the brand and the intellectual property. You're not buying a business where you don't own, like a lot of the businesses we've sold in the past, where you don't have real estate ownership, where you're basically taking over a lease. Here you have tangible assets, the truck and trailer. You have 2 points of sale that can go to 2 different locations and make money at the same time. You know what the rent is on his food trailer? He owns the trailer. But he posts the trailer up in Madison County. And where he posts that trailer up in Madison County, he's paying his landlord $600 a month on a month-to-month lease. He owns the trailer, he owns the truck.
Yep.
But he posts the trailer up. And he only is paying $600 a month to post that trailer up in Madison County. These are tangible assets that are for sale. What did you see, Judah Wickower?
I saw a tight ship. He's got a great little, he's got a great thing going there. I saw in just the short amount of time that I was there, I saw him making pizzas.
In fact, I think you have a video you could play.
Yeah, I got a video. He's making pizzas. He's making steak sandwiches. He's making shrimp. And when I talked to him about reasons for leaving the downtown mall, he said he basically moved up. He's making great money out there, and he misses the downtown mall, but he loves the customers out there in Madison.
Can you play the video?
Yeah.
Let us know when that's playing and rocking and rolling. We'll follow your lead here. I'll tell the viewers and listeners to look at the screen. Then after this, guys, we're going to get to the University of Virginia buying Moe's Barbecue on Ivy Road. Sean Tubbs, if you're watching this program, we're about to give you some props. In fact, I'll tag Shawnee Tubbs. I'll tag Shawnee Tubbs in the mix here. Tell me when that video is playing, J-Dubs.
I'm ready to go whenever you want.
Play it, baby. Play it, baby.
All right.
Man, that
It's live.
That's I love that sweater, dude. I didn't know that was an Ann Wickera original. The video's playing. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. I've been so impressed with Tyler Berry. I literally watched this man take a brand from a cart on the downtown mall. Rain or shine, hot or freezing cold, this dude was selling delicious American food. And now he's got 2 points of sale in a business that can cater to so many different elements of food. Steak and cheese sandwiches. Who doesn't love a cheesesteak? I love cheesesteaks. Pizzas. I mean, the dude's got it. A $325 ask, guys. $325,000. If you're interested in buying this business, email me, jerry@vmvbrands.com. jerry@vmvbrands.com.
We're back.
I love it. Good job. You're on point today.
Thank you.
Can you do a quick lower third with my name up top and jerry@vmvbrands.com on the bottom so people can see it on screen?
Let's see. I think so.
Contact jerry@vmvbrands.com. Can you do that on the fly? That would mean the world to me. I want to talk Moe's on Ivy Road. UVA bought Moe's on Ivy Road. I've talked about this for a significant period of time, that Ivy Road is turning into the academic village 2.0. In fact, let me do Ivy Square Shopping Center, UVA. Let me call that up. Sean Tubbs, if you're watching this program, I need to give you significant props, Shawnee Tubbs. Sean Tubbs is the virtuoso behind InfoSeaville and the Charlottesville Substack and Town Crier Productions. Sean Tubbs is a bona fide, talented, legitimate journalist. I would very much encourage you to subscribe and to support what Sean Tubbs is doing, because this community needs more people like Shawnee Tubbs.
No doubt.
And reading Sean Tubbs' publication, you notice in his property transfers that the foundation has purchased yet another property on Ivy Road. I'm going to give you the nitty-gritty from Sean Tubbs, and then I'll give you my analysis on everything that's happening. You got that lower third up?
I put it up for a minute with the.
Put it up again. That way people can see my email address. Let me know when that's up there.
There you go.
It's up there. Look at the screen. That's how you contact me. Look at the screen. Look at the screen right now. You want to buy Tyler Berry's business? Catch the Chef? Contact me through that email address. This is a bona fide opportunity for an entrepreneur trying to get into the food and beverage game without having a 10-year lease associated with your name. A bona fide opportunity right here. He's running the business with his wife. 2 people are doing it. All right, let's get to Moe's. This is from InfoSeaville, Shawnee Tubbs. An entity associated with the University of Virginia purchased 2119 Ivy Road for $2,575,000. That's 177.66% over the 2022 assessment. The assessment was $927,400. I need to highlight that again if you want to go to a two-shot, J-Dubs. UVA, the UVA Foundation, bought the Moe's Barbecue building. The assessment on that building was $927,400. The University of Virginia bought the building for $2,575,000.
They really wanted that building.
They really wanted that building. So what did that mean for the owner of the building before? See, I like to teach you here. What did that mean for the owner of the building? UVA bought the building from a man. I'm gonna tell folks who the man he bought it from, who they bought it from in a matter of seconds. What did the owner have?
What did the owner have?
What did the owner have with negotiating with the University of Virginia besides owning the building?
He had a. I'm not sure what to call it.
What are one of the key elements in negotiation?
He had the upper hand.
Leverage.
Yeah.
He had leverage.
There it is. Like
Why do you have leverage?
Because he had something they wanted.
Why did the University of Virginia want this building, the Moe's Barbecue building, so much?
I do not have the answer for that.
The reason the University of Virginia wanted this building so much is because they've invested significant amounts of money on the Ivy Road corridor. For example, they purchased the Ivy Square Shopping Center, the Foods of All Nations Shopping Center, for $20 million. They own the Boar's Head Resort. The Data Science School is heading over there. A UVA-owned hotel is heading over there. A UVA Conference Center is heading over there. UVA's vision, its plan, is to grow grounds and infrastructure westward toward the Boar's Head. In fact, if you look at Ivy Road, they're literally building a sidewalk along Ivy Road that's connecting UVA to the Boar's Head.
Sidewalks are great. I think Charlottesville needs more of them.
Oh, maybe that's a topic coming up.
I think it is.
Very nicely done. Little teaser in the business, what you just did there. So UVA is expanding westward. There's this tiny piece of property, 0.46 acres, between Copley Road and the section of the Ivy Square Shopping Center the foundation purchased last December for $20 million. Sean Tubbs writes about this on infocville.com. Sean Tubbs also says the foundation has been slowly assembling properties on Ivy Road for many years. Sean Tubbs reports the property remains on the tax rolls until it's transferred to the Board of Visitors. Sean Tubbs does a great job of covering real estate transactions. I love to read them, Sean Tubbs. Mm-hmm. Now let me give you my take on what's happening here. First, you've heard me say this once, and I will continue to say this. And Anonymous, I'm going to get to your takes on Twitter here that have come in. Anonymous, I'm going to get to you here in a matter of moments. And viewers and listeners like Kevin Yancey and Vanessa Parkhill and Kevin Higgins and many fine viewers and listeners of this talk show. Ooh, Sean Tubbs is watching right now. Put your thoughts in the feed. Sean, I love your reporting, man.
Sean Tubbs is like the bane of Central Virginia news.
Bane?
Yeah. He's a character in comics. I think Sean will get this. There's a line where he says, and I'm going to adapt this to Sean. Oh, you think the news is your ally, but you merely adopted the news. I was born in it, molded by it.
Judah Wickower made himself laugh. Look at the screen. Judah's literally doing his jolly laugh. He's turned completely red. Can you do that? Why'd you find that funny?
Because I think Sean will get a kick out of that.
He's watching. Oh, I'm putting in the feed. Sean, did you get a kick out of Judah right there? Sean has, I love Sean's humor. Your humor is very quirky and contagious as well. You're still laughing at your joke over there. Oh, man. All right, so here's what I think is happening. In fact, this is definitely what's happening. UVA needs more dirt to expand its operation. And what better place to expand its operation than toward the Boar's Head Resort, which is owned by UVA? Why not connect the University of Virginia with a trophy property like the Boar's Head Resort, a renowned resort that literally has world-class pedigree? It's got world-class tennis pedigree, world-class squash pedigree. It's got fine dining. It's got fantastic golf. It's got a great par 3 course. It's a trophy property.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for the university to house big-time donors, to host board of visitor meetings, big-time events. Alumni love it. It's got a fantastic contingent of membership. Many of them University of Virginia graduates themselves. It's fantastic. Why not expand that way? That's what's happening. You're seeing a sidewalk that's being built that's connecting grounds proper to Academic Village 2.0, my moniker for the Ivy Road area of the University of Virginia. Here are questions we need to ask ourselves, however. How will this impact the surrounding neighborhoods? Is the University of Virginia and its development of Ivy Road going to turn the Lewis Mountain neighborhood into essentially the JPA, Jefferson Park Avenue neighborhood as we see it today? The Lewis Mountain neighborhood, that little neighborhood next to the Catholic Church, that neighborhood in between the Ivy Square Shopping Center and Scott Stadium, that neighborhood is a conglomerate of very expensive homes because of their proximity to the university. Is the Lewis Mountain neighborhood going to evolve into less single-family housing, homes for couples and families, grandparents, professors, and more student rental? As UVA expands down Ivy Road, will we see the Lewis Mountain neighborhood evolve, gentrify, change into a bastion of rental property for undergraduates and graduate students instead of what it is right now, a neighborhood of $800,000 homes and up? That's a question we should be asking. Another question we should be asking.
How do you gentrify a neighborhood of $800,000 homes?
Gentrifying might not be the perfect word for that. I think evolve is a better word. Right now, this neighborhood is a Tony neighborhood.
No doubt.
The homes are older, yes. They're not particularly large, but because of their proximity to grounds, their value is significant. $800,000 and up is probably a good price range, okay? This is what I think could eventually happen. Ivy Road becoming the Academic Village 2.0, those homes eventually, much like the neighborhoods around Jefferson Park Avenue, and maybe the neighborhoods along 10th Street. 10th Street is the road that Boylan Heights is on the UVA corner.
Yeah.
Those respective neighborhoods, the JPA neighborhoods and the 10th Street neighborhoods, those at one time were neighborhoods for families, for professors, folks that had ties to the university or just wanted to live in the city. But those 10th Street neighborhoods and the JPA neighborhoods quickly evolved into student housing. That may be the future for Lewis Mountain. I think here's another thing to watch very closely. The University Shopping Center. That's the shopping center that is home to the Papa John's, to the tennis shop, the shopping center that was previously the home to Tokyo Rose.
That's what I was thinking about.
Tokyo Rose, the sushi spot.
Yeah.
The shopping center that is, I think there's a florist there, the University Shopping Center. There's a big car wash there.
Yeah.
There's I think Cavalier Wrestling Club has its headquarters there. That University Shopping Center is a coveted piece of real estate that certainly the University of Virginia has its eyes on. However, there's one caveat, a condition, or a potential red flag for the University Shopping Center. Viewers and listeners, do you know what that is? The University Shopping Center, the home to the Papa John's, the tennis shop, the old Tokyo Rose, the florist. That's an HOA'd shopping center that's splintered and owned by a number of different people and entities. And because it's splintered and owned by a number of different people and entities, it's more difficult to purchase because the University of Virginia will have to negotiate with a handful of people as opposed to just one entity. The University of Virginia bought the Moe's Barbecue location, 0.46 acres, from one man. And I'm looking to see, I've met with him as recently as a few months ago to help negotiate the sale of Moe's Barbecue from Mike and Ashley Abrams to Derek Bond. I helped broker that deal. Derek Bond owns the Melting Pot. And I met with Derek Bond and the previous owner of the Moe's Barbecue location at the Melting Pot before that deal closed. What is that man's name? Mr. Lee. L-Y, his last name. Here's his phone number and the many text messages we've sent back and forth. Mr. Lee, L-Y, a kind, quiet Asian man who owns a significant amount of DL real estate in Charlottesville and Albemarle County, including an extremely valuable land lease with the McDonald's in Greene County. Mr. Lee sold Moe's, the 0.46 acres, to the UVA Foundation in a very savvy deal.
No doubt.
He got $2,575,000 for it when it was assessed at $927,400. Smart man.
Yeah.
Owns a boatload of real estate. What you should follow as the UVA Foundation gobbles up real estate along Ivy Road is the following things. Here's what I want you guys to follow. Follow the evolution of the Lewis Mountain neighborhood, because I think by the time my nearly 5-year-old, our oldest son, turns 5 in March, I think by the time he becomes college aged, so in the next 13 years and change, the Lewis Mountain neighborhood is going to evolve from a Tony, expensive neighborhood for families and retirees to a playground or bastion of rentals for UVA students. Secondly, I think what's going to happen is the University of Virginia and its foundation are going to do whatever it humanly can do to purchase the University Shopping Center. The shopping center that's home to Papa John's, the tennis shop, the former Tokyo Rose, the florist, and a number of other vendors right next to that car wash. That's a key piece of the monopoly that UVA is trying to play along Ivy Road. Third thing to watch. Watch as the sidewalk is developed from the Boar's Head connecting to grounds proper, so folks will be able to walk from the Boar's Head to the lawn, the range, and to other aspects of the university. Fourth, I'm very curious to see what happens to the Ivy Road corridor, Academic Village 2.0, soon home to the Data Science School, soon home to a hotel, soon home to a conference center. I'm very curious to see how that influences and impacts the UVA corner. As grounds expands westward, will it deprioritize spending and attention on the UVA corner, a nightlife hub? The UVA corner is a nightlife hub because of its proximity. It's in the heart of everything. Mm-hmm. If grounds goes westward, does that nightlife hub become deprioritized? I also think we should watch as UVA purchases property and takes it off City of Charlottesville and Albemarle County tax rolls, the impact that has with funding and financing day-to-day operations for jurisdictions like Charlottesville and Albemarle County. Because that's very much a cause for concern, if you may. Let me know what you think. I think by the time our oldest son is college aged, you'll see the tennis courts, you know those tennis courts right there at the corner where the old Cavalier Hotel used to be?
Yeah.
Across from, was that Cars Field, those tennis courts?
That doesn't help me.
The turf fields there?
I know where the
Kind of across from Sigma Nu, the big fraternity. You'll see the tennis courts to the Boar's Head on Ivy Road be completely developed, university-owned property, and Academic Village 2.0. They already have Dr. Bobby Chabra's vision, that UVA hospital over there, that UVA rehab facility over there, right next to Vivace. Centera opened up one next to it to compete directly with it. That's going to have some cause and effect. And I highlighted some that I predict will happen. All right, we'll get to your comments, guys, here in a matter of moments. All the folks that have thoughts, put them in the feed now. I'll relay them live on air. I will relay them live on air. I want to see what Anonymous thinks about this. Oh, Anonymous is commenting. I love when Anonymous comments. Anonymous is the I Love Seville Network's version of Deep Throat. Smart man. He suggested the B word that we were looking for, the bubbling brook. We said bubbling brook of Babel. He says, and you're going to have to help me with this word, badinage?
Badinage?
B-A-D-I-N-A-G-E. Have you ever heard of that word before?
I have, not often though.
You've heard of that word before? Anonymous, I've never heard of that word before. You're teaching, and words are how I make my living. How do you pronounce it?
Badinage.
Badinage?
Badinage.
Badinage.
Ignore the I. Badinage.
Badinage. Badinage.
Humorous or witty conversation.
Badinage. I just learned a word.
Yeah.
Viewers and listeners, did you know that word? Badinage. No I?
You don't pronounce the I.
So, a bubbling brook of badinage?
A bubbling brook of badinage.
Humorous or witty conversation. He says we should play and record a bubbling brook of badinage for our nearly 4-day-old son to listen to overnight.
I don't think he'll care much about the humorous or witty parts, but as long as it's good conversation.
You know what we could just do is play the I Love Seville show for him on loop.
Oh, man.
That might drive my wife crazy. Play the I Love Seville show on loop for a nearly 4-day-old kid. All right. So he's got some good comments here that I want to get to. He says, Jerome Powell said nothing new. He says, we know what to expect with the rate hikes. The next coming meeting, 50 bips. He says high rates for an extended period. He says, so why the giant risk rally? One word, positioning. The market is positioned heavily bearish. No new hawkishness, and we get a squeeze. Yeah. He also says rents are already coming down. The apartment list for Charlottesville back in September. The apartment rents for Charlottesville are back to September 2021 levels. So they're coming off their highs. And he also says, I don't want to hear any more whining about Seville City zoning being a cause of housing supply restrictions while we are seeing UVA gobble up property that could have been developed as housing, including student housing. Instead, Ivy Road is going to be a hotel and a convention center, classrooms, etc. And he also says the UVA shopping center is weird. It's actually commercial condos. That's correct. It's HO8. I know a lot about the commercial condos. The Macklin building, the building I'm in, are commercial condos. I own the lion's share of these here. He says I would have to assemble those condo holdings one by one. That's literally what I'm doing in the Macklin building. is assembling ownership of this building one by one. Interestingly, according to condo documents, once you get over a certain ownership percentage, then you control the association. That's what I've done here. Anonymous also says, note that in the original comprehensive plan and the future land use map, Lewis Mountain was going to be all medium intensity. The final version dialed it back. Perhaps the city knew UVA's plans. A very good comment right there. I'm going to read that again. Anonymous, the I Love CVille Network's version of Deep Throat. There's a very good comment here from him. A man who uses data and a lot of research to back up everything he says. In fact, let me respond. Excellent comments today. I just sent it to him. He says this, note that in the original comprehensive plan and future land use map, Lewis Mountain was going to be all medium intensity. The final version dialed it back. Perhaps the city knew UVA's plans. That's a good comment. I think if you own a home in Lewis Mountain right now, your house 15 years from now is going to be student rentals. Because as those homes, one by one, get converted to rentals, and you have grad students or undergraduates living next to you, you're going to feel less inclined to raise your family next to a keg party, next to a toga party, and next to Billy Bob and Louise make it out on the front doorstep at night.
Billy Bob's at UVA. How many of those do you think there are?
I don't know why I came up with. Why Billy Bob? Why Billy Bob? I should have come up with a better name than that, right? Who should the names have been?
Chad and how about Susie?
Chad and Susie?
Sounds a little more UVA to me.
Chad and Susie?
Billy Bob and...
Okay, Billy Bob was terrible. I'll give you Billy Bob was terrible. How about Thomas? Thomas Jefferson?
Thomas?
No?
I mean...
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
UVA is a pop up your collar, pinkies up, little bougie, little ritzy. How about Pierre? Pierre's a pinkies up, pop the collar kind of name, is it? Pierre?
Is it?
Is it not?
Let's poll the audience, huh?
Pierre, what's the pop your collar up, pinkies up, bougie name for a dude and a gal? Pierre.
I guess.
How about the female version?
I mean, if we're going with French names, let's see. How about Clémence?
What? What was that? One more time.
Clémence.
Clémence?
Yeah, like clemency. Clemence.
That's a female French woman's name?
Yeah.
You've heard that before?
Yeah.
Clémence? All right. Would you want to live in Lewis Mountain neighborhood when Pierre and Clémence were playing tonsil hockey outside your door? I think it's going to go to student housing. Clémence.
Right. It's the first French woman's name popped into my mind.
How do you make Albemarle County better? Charlottesville City better? And then we got to talk UVA women's hoops. And then we're going to get to the viewers and listeners' comments. John Blair, we love you. King of Knowledge, JB John Blair. Mayor of Waynesboro, we'll get to your comments here in a matter of moments. Queen of Earlysville, we'll get to your comments here in a matter of moments. King of Greenwood, we'll get to your comments here in a matter of moments. How would you make Albemarle County and Charlottesville City better, J-Dubs?
I mean, we already mentioned sidewalks.
You say more sidewalks? Better bike lanes? Better bike infrastructure? I think bike infrastructure is paramount.
The problem is a lot of the streets are... I mean, I don't know what you do with, a slim street. And
you're saying they're too narrow?
Well, yeah. Besides the fact they're narrow, if the edge of the road is somebody's front lawn, it's kind of hard to say, hey, for the good of the city, we're stealing.
Eminent domain.
Yeah,
It's been done before.
Doesn't mean it's a good thing, but yeah, it would be nice to have more sidewalk space, better bike lanes. I would love to see more events, more fun events. Two of my favorite events in Savannah, Georgia, took place in Forsyth Park, and it was free to everyone. They would have, I believe these were both in the summer, and they would have a Shakespeare in the park and jazz in the park.
Ooh.
And basically just set
Was
up.
Clemence there?
She may have been. She didn't
Okay.
introduce herself to me.
Sorry,
so
I'm distracted.
I'm not
I
really sure.
apologize.
They just
Pierre?
set up a big
Tonsil hockey?
stage, and they would have for Shakespeare in the Park. They'd have a true, I don't know, some group of people that are good at putting on Shakespeare plays. I don't remember who they were or how they got them, but they would, I think it was 3 or 4 days, and it's a park. It's a big expanse of grass with a stage, and so you'd bring your blankets, I'd bring a bottle of wine. They were pretty lax in Savannah, and you could go and watch a Shakespeare play. Same with jazz. They would have excellent jazz musicians. They would have this. I don't remember how long they ran, but again, it was just a stage on the grass. You'd bring your blankets, bring your picnic baskets, and you'd enjoy some free jazz in the park. It was amazing. And the greatest thing is that Forsyth Park is central to downtown Savannah, and so it had tons of streets branching off of it. Of course, I lived blocks away, so I would just walk there with a blanket and a bottle of wine.
Ooh.
And enjoy myself, and some friends. And
That sounds awesome, dude.
and so there's plenty of parking. There was no problem looking for a spot. I would love to see more of that. Things like first night. Is it first night?
First night's the New Year's Eve celebration.
Yeah. That's gone downhill in recent years, and
It's certainly gone downhill, unfortunately.
I have kind of a front row seat into some of the reasons why.
Do you want to elaborate?
I'm not going to name any names. A friend of mine does all of the
Event planning, coordinating?
No, he doesn't do any of that. He works on the website.
I know who you're talking about.
He takes care of the bracelets, the tickets, things like that. And I've heard from him that the people in charge, the people that he gets paid by for a first night, have just been really off their game the last few years, and I think it may be changing hands soon. So I hope to see
Judah Wickower with a scoop right here.
I don't believe we're going to have it this year.
We're not going to have first night this year?
I don't think so. But hopefully,
Usually you aren't the one that breaks the news here. How reliable are you on this? And make sure we're framed all right, okay, if you could, on the framing here. Is this hearsay, scuttlebutt? Is this a little chitter chatter, little gossip, little scuttlebutt, little rumor mill, or is this legitimate, factual news here?
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not 100% on all the details, but from what I've heard, that's all true.
That first night is not happening.
I mean, somebody's got to go out and get the bands. Somebody's got to go out and.
Well, good Lord, they have approximately 30 days. If that's not done, you got some trouble.
They didn't have that done 6 months ago. That's the problem. Is that the leadership was not there, and I think anybody that's been on the downtown mall on New Year's Eve the last few years has seen
It struggled.
that it's been struggling more and more each year. And my friend, who is trying to keep the website running on his own server or wherever it is, and trying to do like bracelets and tickets and whatever else that they need. What do you do when you're not getting paid and stuff still needs to be done? And it's been kind of a what show. And so I believe he told me that that the baton is getting passed to someone who will take better care.
Look at Judah B. Wickower, the jack of all zips. That was legit.
Thank you.
We'll see if that materializes. If it does, you heard it here first from. Give them your signature sign-off.
Do I have a sign-off?
You have a signature sign-off. The glasses.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
I don't even remember how it goes.
And this is the news. That's how it goes.
Is that?
Yes.
And that's the news.
There you go. Thank you. Goodness gracious. That's the news. You just did news there. That's news.
Yeah.
That's a big deal if that doesn't happen. That's a big deal.
It's a shame.
Because it's happened forever. For as long as I've been here.
Yeah.
And that's the news. Sidewalks are crucial. Bike lanes, crucial. Super crucial. Improved bike infrastructure around here, super crucial.
Yeah, I think we recently had someone get
on High Street.
Hit.
They got hit on
bike.
High Street. I'd like to see improved bicycle infrastructure as well in both Charlottesville and Albemarle County. I'd like to see the RT, the Ravenna Trail, utilized or prioritized is a better word, prioritized even more. Because it's fantastic. And it can get you pretty much all over Charlottesville and Albemarle County.
Yeah.
We brand it, we market it, we keep it safe, we keep it lit, we maintain it, we get people utilizing it. Fantastic infrastructure in place already, can be improved upon absolutely. We'll continue on this talk show highlighting ways almost on a daily basis of how we improve Charlottesville and Albemarle County.
Oh, man.
And all you have to do is use personal perspective. I mean, I don't know about you. I literally drive around town everywhere and I see like opportunity galore. I see opportunities everywhere, entrepreneurial opportunities everywhere, opportunities to improve the city everywhere, opportunities to improve Albemarle County everywhere. And I just make a mental filing card of these things. And that's the fodder for a lot of the content we're airing on the talk show. You could do that.
Except I'm here all day.
I'm here all day too. It's a job. This is what our job is.
You're not here all day, though.
If I'm not here all day, I'm meeting with clients to drive revenue for the business.
Which means driving around the city.
When you're driving in your vehicle to and from work, walking your dog, spending your own time, just look around and say, how can I make my community better?
Okay.
That's not asking too much. It's not asking too much. I want to highlight the Virginia women's basketball team. The Virginia women's basketball team is 9-0 on the season. They're 1-0 in ACC play. This team was horrendous last year. This year, the Cavaliers are enjoying their first 9-0 start in a season since 1991. 31 years.
Wow.
Their best start to a season in 31 years. It's their first 9-game winning streak in a season since 2008, 2009. This team is legit. You got a bona fide superstar that's local in Samantha Brunel. You got a team that we need to support, and we need to start asking this question. Virginia men's basketball and Virginia women's basketball at UVA. Does this university have the two best basketball teams in the nation, men and women's? Yes, I know the women's basketball team is currently not ranked. That is going to change. The men's basketball team is a bona fide Final Four contender. Does the University of Virginia have the two best basketball teams in the nation? Let's start having that conversation. And remember, when the men's team and the women's team are performing well, that gives families something to do, and it is undoubtedly good for the local economy. Because it gets butts and seats at restaurants and in bars during the winter when they otherwise are empty seats at restaurants and bars. That's good news in a tough economic climate. 9-0, 1-0 in conference play. UVA men's hoops, undefeated. Florida State on Saturday, first game in the ACC schedule. John Paul Jones Arena. Start asking this question. Does UVA men's and women's basketball, the two best basketball teams for one college or university in the nation? All right, let's get to comments. Vanessa Parkhill says, I respect the baby night owl. Best wishes for getting that schedule flipped. Thank you, Vanessa Parkhill. We will do our best. And it sounds like we need to have a bubbling brook of Badnage. Dang. What is it?
Badnage.
We need to have a bubbling brook of Badnage. Witty or humorous conversation.
Yep.
A bubbling brook of Badnage. I literally learned a word today. You'd heard that word before, though.
I'd seen it somewhere. I couldn't tell you where, but I don't know that I've ever looked it up, and I certainly didn't know the exact pronunciation.
Catherine Lochner says, Muffy and Derek are the names we should utilize.
Muffy and Derek. I could see Muffy.
I can definitely see
Derek,
Muffy.
Though.
I love Muffy, Catherine Lochner.
Yeah.
I'm going to go instead of Derek, I'm going to go Pierre.
I don't know about that. It's too exchange student.
All right. That's fair. Sean Tubbs is currently watching Star Wars, he says.
There you go.
It's the one where they fight the spiders on the planet where they are hoping to launch attacks against the Empire.
It must be one of the cartoons.
Kevin Higgins, the king of Greenwood, says, I think UVA 29 South is a vast opportunity for UVA. I predict they buy to the bypass and right past the interstate. What exactly is there until you get to the Crossroads store where Dr. Hose is? Not much, but there is a UVA health clinic there. I'm going to respond to Kevin Higgins, the king of Greenwood. Thank you for sharing this. I read it live on air and sent it to him. Kevin Higgins is the king of Greenwood. Unfortunately, buses in Greenwood continue to be late. For example, the Western Henley bus 179 was 30 minutes late again this morning. The fact that they haven't solved the bus crisis and it's now basically Christmas and the weather when the kids are getting on the bus is 19 degrees is a damn shame.
Yeah.
That is a shame. And it further shows the gap between the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
Where the kids...
Not everybody can afford to... maybe some people were hoping to save new winter jackets for a Christmas gift and had to go out and spend money in October or November.
There you go.
Because this morning was cold.
It's freezing.
Yeah.
And next week, I'm looking at the weather, homie. Next week, Eastern Albemarle County, you're looking at start times all below freezing.
Yeah. And what do you? I mean, I don't know how this actually goes, but like if you get a notification that the bus is going to be a half hour late, it's not like I doubt they have a GPS on the bus that is telling you exactly when it's going to show up in your neighborhood. So it's not like you can just go out a half an hour later than you usually would. You would still have to go out and wait for it, right?
Pretty much.
Because
that's right. Todd Rath, the king of cider, watching the program right now. That's right. You're just sitting there outside waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
It's not like you have the text messaging capacities of cell phones.
Yeah,
Or
it's not
of airplanes.
Yeah.
Your flight is delayed. 12 minutes. Your flight is delayed. And then you go back and bundle up inside and drink a hottie toddy. Can they drink hottie toddies? Is that alcohol?
Or like when I ordered delivery from Fabio's, I get a text message like a minute, as the guy's driving into my parking lot. I get a text message, and I throw on my shoes and I go running outside and I meet them at the car door. So I don't have to go searching around for my vehicle. I mean, for my house. But what do you do as in my neighborhood? I see where the kids congregate to wait for the bus. It's not like the bus drives around the neighborhood and picks everyone up at their house. So you couldn't just. I suppose you could have one person wait and then text everyone, "Hey, I see the bus coming. Come running." So that means that you've got to go out there and wait the whole time, half an hour or more.
We have the technology in place to let you guys know when your steak and cheese sandwich is 2 minutes from arrival. Yeah. Yet we do not have the technology in place to let students know they don't have to wait in freezing cold weather before school starts, and they can go back in their house for an extra 15 minutes.
That could be something. Think about this,
Such BS.
Almost a little bit like geocaching. What if you had a transponder on a bus, and you synced an app on your phone to the transponder, so that when the bus gets within, say, a mile or two of your house, your phone sends you a message, and that way you know that you can go outside and wait for the bus because it's getting close.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think the haters would say that if you started tracking buses, that tracking mechanism could be used for nefarious purposes.
I guess.
Like if you're tracking a steak and cheese, what's the worst that's going to happen? Someone's going to steal your steak and cheese from you?
Yeah, but school buses go the exact same route every day. So it's
so they already know where they're going.
It's not like
That's
somebody
a good
would
point.
be like,
That's a great point.
How am I going to find the bus?
It's a great point. They're going the same route every day.
Yeah, it's not like it's a secret.
Judah just makes a great point, and here's the point very succinctly. Judah's a very succinct person in his talk and conversation. Here's basically what he's saying. We can track a steak and cheese sandwich down to a 2-minute delivery.
Well, the person sends me a text message. I'm just saying a bus driver can't be texting, 30 kids.
No, but but to your point.
But that's why I said if you had
Yes.
like a transponder on the bus, and then you made an app that you just sync it to the transponder, and that way,
love it.
When the bus gets within a certain distance of your home, you know it's time to go out.
I think it's brilliant.
Of course, it wouldn't be necessary if the buses were on time.
I think it's absolutely a brilliant idea. I sincerely mean that. Especially when it's 18 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And it's going to get colder.
Yeah.
And what if they're waiting in the rain, in the snow? I guess if it's snowing, they're not going to school. Still, crappy. It generally breaks my heart. It generally, as a parent now, I feel more empathy than when I was not a parent. And we are fortunate in that my wife is able to stay home with our kids.
Yeah.
But if it was our sons in 18-degree weather and me thinking about them in 18-degree weather, that empathy carries over to the other kids that are out there in 18-degree weather.
Definitely.
It is. Look, I know they say life is not fair.
My dad always said, if you want fair, go to Pomona in May.
Look, I know they say life is not fair, but the shortcomings of adults affecting the lives of children,
Yeah.
that's a crappy situation.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
It's a tale as old as time, but yeah, I do agree.
You did a hell of a job today. Very impressed. Katie Pearl says, I say Colin and Emma. Katie Pearl is the queen of Whitehall. That's your moniker, Katie Pearl. KTP. Love when KTP watches the show. She says Colin and Emma for the names.
I think that's acceptable.
Queen of Whitehall. Queen of Whitehall has a lot of swagger and influence on this talk show. A lot of swagger and influence the Queen of Whitehall has. All right, that's today's show. Ooh, Neil Williamson shared the link to First Night Virginia. Oh, you were right!
Am I?
FirstNightVA.org. FirstNightVA. Judah Wickhauer's best day today. First, he starts the program modeling an Ann Wickhauer original. It's a mock turtleneck. Can you stand up and model it again? A mock turtleneck with a full zip and a racing stripe. I legitimately want a sweater like this. I understand you got yours pro bono because she loves you, and she may not love me like she loves you because you're her son.
And she used the same. Yarn, whatever you use for sweaters. She used it on my scarf as well.
Can you turn around?
So they match. Can I? Why?
3/6. So that's what modeling is, dude.
The back of a sweater.
So what? Just do a 360, dude. The mock turtleneck with the full zip and the racing stripe, an Ann Wickhauer original. I need an Ann Wickhauer original.
Well,
I will pay for one. I understand you got yours for free because you're her offspring, her scion, and I am not, so I will pay.
Well, maybe my mom will start a business.
I hear we're in the branding business and we can help her launch that company.
Yeah.
FirstNightVA.org. 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 That's unreported breaking news right there.
No First Night Virginia.
No First Night Virginia this year. Canceled until 2024. That literally is breaking news. You broke news.
I mean, it's not even news to me. I've known about it for...
It's news to people.
I know. I'm just saying.
That is breaking news.
I've known about it for a long time. I was asking my friend if he wanted help finding someone else to wrest the reins from the previous head of the First Night organization. Whoever.
That is straight up breaking news right there. You will see that on NBC 29, Daily Progress, Seville Weekly, CBS 19, and the radio stations will report what you just reported for the first time. Judah B. Wickhauer, now journalist, jack of all zips, jack of all wits, senior project manager. That is breaking news.
If you need help spelling my name, I'm here every day.
You are not here every day. You're here Monday through Friday, and you have a great job and a very likable and easygoing, very consistent in mood, temperament boss.
Well, they must be changing the definitions of words these days.
Oh, that's the talk show. You did a great job today. Judah, first let me say, this is the I Live Seville show with Judah Wickhauer and Jerry Miller.
All right.
Very well done.
Thank
you kindly for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did. We will see you tomorrow at 12:30, which will be December 2nd.
Yep.
Have a good afternoon, everyone. Take care. Dude, that's breaking news. You just broke news. That's not reported anywhere. You broke news. Did you realize that? You broke news.
Yeah.
It's great. That's breaking news.